Okay, for today's video we are at the freeware version of London Gatwick on stand in the Phoenix A320, and following a subscriber request we're going to look at how we get the visual docking guidance system, or VDGS, up and running in GSX Pro. There are a couple of steps we need to take to make it work, and as you can see the screen is completely blank when we first load in, so we'll take a look at how we get it working for a typical departure, and then we'll get the plane out to the runway and taxi back to the same stand so you can see it in action as it guides us back in. So let's hop inside the flight deck and get started. So the first thing we want to do is get GSX up and running, so we'll fire that up now. There we go, and we've got the red reload sim brief button, and it says the loaded flight plan doesn't match sim brief. So let's hop over to sim brief and we will file a flight plan, and we'll just quickly populate it with a previous flight. Let's click on this top one. There we go, so we've got a flight from here in Gatwick over to Edinburgh. That's fine. We want to select our aircraft, which is the A320. And then we just need to select our airframe. We've got the CFMs with sharklets, so we'll go with that, and we will generate plan. Just wait for SimBrief to do its thing, a couple of seconds, and there we go. So that is our flight plan generated. Let's hop back to the sim and we will reopen GSX, and we will click reload SimBrief, and that'll just take a couple of seconds. There we go, so we've got the green light, and that is phase 1, but as you can see, if you look at the VDGS in front of us, the screen's still blank. So what we need next is a GSX profile for this particular airport. So if we head over to flightsim.to, and I'll just show you the one I've downloaded. If you go into other at the top and then select GSX profiles, we can search within those, and we'll add EGKK for Gatwick. And there we go. So this one on the right hand side is the one I've already downloaded. It's for the MKVY Gatwick scenery, which is awesome, by the way. And then we just want to scroll down, click on the big button to download. I've already done it, but also just double check the description to make sure that VDGS is supported. This one is. So if we just head to my desktop, so this window on the right has got that GSX profile for Gatwick, and then the window on the left is the folder where we need to add them in. So you need to navigate to App Data, then Roaming, then Virtuali, then GSX, and finally msfs, and that's where all my other GSX profiles are. You need to delete any other Gatwick profiles out so we don't have any conflicts, but that's all looking good. So we'll go back over to this new GSX profile, and we're going for GSX VDGS. There's also a Null Aero version, but we're doing GSX today, so double click that. And then we've got a config file and a py file, so we're going to select both of those, and then we're just going to drag those over to the GSX folder. There we go, and that is pretty much it. So we'll head back over to the sim, and I'll just pop it back in full screen. There we go, and open GSX again, and we're going to hit the restart QATL button just to restart GSX, and we'll see what happens. And there we go, that is VDGS all up and running. Let's just zoom in a little bit so you can see it clearer. In fact, let's hop outside to where we were earlier. So we've got our aircraft type, our destination and stand number. We've got our off block time, 24 minutes to go. Again, we've got the stand number, off block time, and our departure time. And then we get our departure information. So we've got Gatwick, runway 26 left on the Lambourne 6 Mike departure, and then our passengers, cargo and fuel as well. So it's got everything we need, which is really good. So everything seems to be working correctly. What I'll do now is get the plane out to the runway, and we'll taxi back to the same stand so you guys can see how VDGS works for an arrival, and also how accurately it guides us back in. Okay, so here we are then, about to vacate runway 08 left. So we will vacate here, and as soon as we've cleared the runway we want to fire up GSX again, and then we can request our arrival. Let's bring it round. So let's open the GSX menu again. I don't know why it's come up on the right hand side now, and then we're going to select our arrival stand, which was Pier 6, and we are stand 107, and we don't want to follow me. Okay, so here we are then, 107 is next left, so we'll just oversteer a touch and see how well I can get this lined up. No pressure, it's not looking too bad. Now we can turn our attentions to the VDGS. It's a little bit far away, so I'm going to have to zoom in for you guys so you can see it a bit clearer. So it's telling us we just need to go right a touch. Keep it really slow. So 7 meters, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Okay, not too bad. So parking brake set. So it's now given us an OK message along with our airport and stand number, and also it's now telling us to put our chocks on, so let's do that. So down to the tablet, click the Phoenix icon, and we want our ground services tab, and chocks can go on, and we can also put the ground power on. So we will switch the ground power on, and let's shut some engines down. So engine 2 off, engine 1 off. And that is pretty much all there is to it, so I will wrap it up there for today. That concludes my tutorial on how we set up VDGS in GSX Pro for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I hope you enjoyed the video, maybe you learned something new. If you did, do consider giving it a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks very much for watching, bye bye.